the conversation is, when they were framing this committee or whatever to deal with the reform, right?
Yeah.
It should have been established what their positions were as it relates to the Privy Council and the CCJ. Mark Golding's argument is that he is in support of the CCJ being the final appellate court. Now, the JLP government, or let us say, yes, the government, they have done a phase 1 of the Constitution. I'm getting a little feedback. I don't know if I should be Bluetooth or something, but that's fine. All right, so the JLP, right, are saying that the phase 1 has concluded, and guess what happened to phase 1? There is no conversation about severing ties from the Privy Council and utilizing the CCJ as our appellate court, or whichever way. No, the fact that phase 1 has completed, where we're going to separate from the king, but at the same time, the conversation about the Privy Council and the CCJ is not in that phase 1. Mark Golding has the right to push back at them, because Mark Golding made his position very clear from 2022 that he is all about the CCJ being the final appellate court, and we should divorce from the Privy Council. The JLP, though, are actually holding on to the Privy Council for now, because they want to do it on a phase-by-phase basis. But a matter of this nature, though, should not be on a phase 2. This matter of severing ties from the Privy Council should also be included as a priority in the phase 1. Let me say this quick and fast, though. I just want to say this quick and fast. DeAndre Small, I don't think you're understanding the reasoning. Please listen to understand, all right? Not to, just to comment and talk about need intelligent people. Because at the end of the day, I guarantee you, say, you can't check in and challenge nothing that is being said up here. All right? You just love to have so-called intelligent people that telling you what to say and what to do. And you can't formulate your own opinion. The argument is, right, it's about 1, dual citizens sitting in parliament. 2, Mark Golding's position on full decolonization. And full decolonization means severing all ties with the British. And at the end of the day, as opposition leader, you should not be advocating full decolonization. However, your British status, you can keep it, but you want to say full decolonization. Had he not said that, we would not be having this conversation. The other conversation now is, in order for him to appease the diaspora, the 200 people who march in New York and mislead him on the internet about having any say in terms of any political weight, he is appeasing to them to say, well, the government and all the committee members should reconsider the position of allowing US citizens, right, and Jamaican citizens combined to sit in parliament. That's a position that the PNP vehemently opposed. They took them to court and won, and he is making a U-turn contrary to the position of the People's National Party. So that is where we are reasoning.
Well, that is the leg to stand on, though, Imhotep, because that is where I actually reversed my my opinion, because I was weighing both of them, and I did lose sight of that they actually did do that. So I mean, if you can't play hypocrite now, you cannot play hypocrite now.
Can I finish my point, because Imhotep jumped in?
I'm sorry, but think that it lands.
Go ahead.
No. I was just listening to you to finish your point. But I will go back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
You rightfully pointed out 2 issues that Mark Golding had with what they drafted, right?
Yeah.
Right, Imhotep?
Right.
And what are the 2 issues?
Mark Golding's stance is that as it relates to the phase 1 that they said is concluded, right? Mark Golding's stance is that the CCJ, me kind of get a feedback from your end, Subi. So I'm going to mute it a second, and then you can respond.
Let me come out and come back in.
All right, cool. All right, so Mark Golding is saying that the CCJ is his preferred choice for the final appellate court, right? The JLP, for some very strange reason, has not put forward the conversation about which court is going to be the final court of appeal in the phase 1. And Mark Golden is saying that a matter of this national significance, that's going to be an everlasting effect on every Jamaican in terms of our judiciary, should also be in whatever phase, right? And he is also saying that this phase by phase thing, right? He wasn't aware of it being a phase by phase, whereas you want to put forward the separation of the king in one phase, and then you want to put a next phase to say, let us discuss the Privy Council in the next phase. So Mark Golding has a very solid argument, and I am going to stand with Mark Golding on this one, that at the end of the day, separating from the crown, number one priority. Privy Council or the final court of appeal should also be in the top 3 priorities as it relates to the Constitution. Just like how them said that them are trying to argue and determine what type of president. All those things should be at the forefront of the various deliberations. So at the end of the day, the phase 1 that was concluded has nothing in reference to the final court of appeal. And I think that is where Mark Golden is standing on it. And he has a very valid argument, because that should also be at the forefront, not on the back burner. You get what I'm saying?
Did he not agree? Well, hold on a second. Did they not agree to the phases before?
Yes, Miss Julie.
Thank you, Miss Julie. Thank you, Miss Julie. Because we don't solicit Imhotep. We don't solicit Imhotep.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Bakers. I'm listening.
Imhotep, Mark Golden sent representatives. They went over all the different pieces that they had issues with, or sections that they had issues with. And they came away with an understanding. Mark Golden then threw his people aside and stepped in and said, no, at the final moment. However, may agree with some things that you're saying, but you have to still understand that his position that he took derailed the whole thing, not just one issue he had. He had an issue with dual citizenship, and he had an issue with the Privy Council. So it's not just one issue in it. So what I'm saying is, and it is 100% accurate. This will be on his record for the rest of his life. He blocked Jamaica from becoming a republic because, one, if you want to show it in there, I'm fine with it. He wanted to sever ties from the Privy Council. You cannot accept full decolonization and you're acting as subject of the king. You cannot. That's hypocritical. Yeah. You are leading a nation. And you have ties to another country. Mark Golding doesn't even have to pay taxes in Jamaica. Okay? Because we have a rule. Let me finish. We have a rule that you don't do double taxation. Right? Yeah. Secondly, if Mark Golding, like hypothetically speaking, if Mark Golding were a younger man, eligible for army, and the UK started drafting people for war, Mark Golding have to pack up out of the office of the Prime Minister of Jamaica and go on a war, with Britain, go fight with the Britain then. You understand? Additionally, if there is some form of catastrophe in Jamaica, Britain will lift Mark Golding out of the country before any Jamaican. So our head of state, right, will be getting preferential treatment from another head of state or another country where he can escape anything that we will be subjected to as Jamaicans, and he's the leader of the country. When the master ship has say captain last have to come off, the captain
exactly.
In this case, the captain can jump ship legally because by right, so he and his family, they have citizenship with another nation.
With another country. Yeah, that's true.
I believe that if you're going to want to represent Jamaica, right, with the American, British, Canadian, whatever, if you want to be in a parliamentarian, you should renounce your citizenship for the country that you're living in and go to Jamaica, go represent Jamaica. We actually, there is actually, let's say Miss Julie is a Canadian and she has Canadian ties she go to Jamaica and she campaign and she win her seat. She not even give up her citizenship before she win her seat. You know? But you want to win your seat and serve the people. You can't serve two masters.
That's
you
true.
cannot serve two masters. In the UK, so Miss Julie say, yo.
I'd have to renounce my
Yeah, I wanted to go to war.
And that makes sense. It makes sense. Because you know what, though, to be honest, if you're committed to
there
doing...
was parents, his mother.
Yeah.
She, his citizenship came via his mother. He was born in Jamaica according to the reports.
Yeah.
So this idea that, because he was born in Jamaica. No, he has a British father. He has a British father.
Right.
And he can actually renounce his citizenship, Miss Julie, and he can actually apply for it to be reinstated.
Right. All right. So I just want to say